What is going on, everyone? We're going to take a technical analysis look at AMD. My name is D. Anthony with evolutiontraders.com. I'm a full-time options day trader bringing you guys the best technical analysis kind of levels that I can, possibly do to kind of help keep you guys informed on things that I am looking at, things that I am looking to trade. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I am just a full-time options retail day trader. With that being kind of out of the way here, AMD closed at $64.02, down 75 cents on the day, 1%. In the after hours, currently trading about 10 cents lower, so almost flat on the day. Now, I was kind of speaking to people in the community today that, AMD for me is going to be on watch all week. A couple reasons being here, if I just kind of go look at the weekly chart here, and I'm looking at, a big macro overview here, I can see going all the way back here to this bottom out candle here in October on the week of the 10th. We did go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-week rally. Okay, so just about over a month's worth time here, we had a nice aggressive rally that came right into this 200 SMA as well as a 20 SMA on the weekly time frame. We went through a 3-week distribution where you can see a lot of top heavy wicks here where we were rejected. This area is going to act as an area of rejection again. That $79.16 around there, give or take. If and when AMD can kind of get over that level, I would be looking at a next price target of around $80 to $83. Now, we are below all weekly levels of supply. Never a good thing. That means it's going to tell you that, as we come into those levels, if we do get some sort of dead cat bounce, price action can be extremely choppy. Price action can be extremely weak or kind of go sideways. Get that feeling where, you just can't really set your feet, right? And the more you come into supply or the more you come into demand, you're definitely going to get those more choppier areas. Now, just from this weekly time frame, we are still below that 5-day moving average on the weekly time frame. So bears are still controlling the price action here. One thing that I would really be looking at is the lows. So that $63 and around 40 cents, let's just call it $63. Anything below 63 can start to get very, very aggressive. Now, we do have two bottom wicks here where bulls are trying to hold this price action up around that 61.5 area. So 63 and 61.5, those are going to be our two areas that we're going to be looking at. Anything below 63 has room to 61.5. And if we do close on a weekly candle below that 61.5, this has a lot of room to come back down here and test these lows. Now, if we do start to test these lows, it can get very aggressive very, very quickly. We do got a rising Bollinger Band here sitting at around $51. Don't expect it to get to $51 this week, although anything can happen. If we just kind of take a look at what's going on the daily picture here, and if I can kind of blow this up for you guys, we did have an aggressive pop off the open. So one thing that we have to kind of keep in mind, especially as day traders, right? Short-term traders, it's okay to have a bias, but we need to be able to adjust and flip that bias depending on the price action. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we think. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we believe that a stock is overbought or oversold. What we have to focus on is what is the marketplace telling us? What is the price action doing? Okay, so off the open, in the pre-market, off the open, a lot of stocks had an aggressive bounce followed by a harsh and stiff rejection where a lot of things continued to fall for that first hour to hour and 30 minutes of the market open. And then pretty much essentially the rest of the day we went sideways. Very, very hard action to kind of trade if you did not catch anything or you were hesitant off the open, right? So this bear market is giving a lot of moves in pre-market. It's giving a lot of initial moves the first 10, 30, 45 minutes, and then we're kind of just chopping around until the end of the day. And then sometimes we get those end of day flushes or we get those end of day rallies. Now, one thing and why I'm looking at AMD for the rest of the week, as we came up here on this first attempt at the 20-day moving average and the 50-day moving average, we were rejected, okay? You can see this top heavy wick that came in. We had sellers in this area here between a price point of around 66.50 and around 67.50. So this dollar zone here is going to be extremely choppy. If we kind of rewind and look at what's going on here on the 21st of December, you can see we also stopped here. And at that point in time, we were at the 10-day moving average. So this whole area here, this whole little box, if I could draw a box here in this area, is going to be a troublesome sort of area. And I'll actually do that for you guys right now, just so you guys can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. So if I was to draw a box between that 21st high and the 50-day moving average and the 50 EMA now, and kind of go to the bottom of this, you can see this nice box here is going sideways, right? We came to the bottom of the range, we bounced, we chopped around a little bit in the middle of the range, we tried to make an attempt to get back up to the top of the range, but we've got a lot of resistance in this area. So for me, if we do look at some sort of dead cat rally, some sort of bounce, something that's going to give us more than, 10, 15 minutes worth of price action worth our while to the long side, and the bulls actually grow a set and they want to kind of make a little bit of a run, for me, AMD needs to get back over 67.50 bare minimum. Okay, so back over 67.50 bare minimum, that's what I want to see. I would prefer a daily candle close over 68.5. Over 68.5, we've got room into the low 70s, 70, 71, 72. I would play those longs or play those call contracts into our next resistance, which is this declining linear regression here. If we kind of look at this blue line, look at where we stopped here, where we were rejected. Look at where we stopped here and where we were rejected. That's in this area here. So again, over 67, over 68, we've got room to kind of play, kind of put a little bit of risk on here and take our chances to see if we can kind of ride this momentum and price action into this area of supply, right? Which is resistance. Now, if I kind of take this box off because it's making me a little, everything a little blurry here, it's a little too bright. If we look at today's lows here, look at this bottom wick at around 63.62. This, if we start to give this up, I think is going to immediately blow through, right? And the reason why I say I think is because we never know, right? We can look at technical analysis, we can look at the price action, we can have a bias, we can do our due diligence, and we can come with a plan and be prepared. But obviously, it's all comes down to how we react when the price action comes. So just because I've done my due diligence and kind of looking at this here, if we were to give up today's lows, it looks like we could start to blow through these 2 weeks here and start to make our way down towards that $60, maybe 61.5. Kind of test this little indecision candle, this little mini reversal candlestick that we had here, sitting at around $62. And you can also see we've got a lot of open airspace, right? It doesn't look so congested where you see this moving average and this moving average and this moving average, or everything's kind of cross canceling out. If you kind of look below today's lows, we don't have anything until we get down here, which is that Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are starting to get tight. What is that telling you? It's telling you that a move is about to come. Look at the last time, going back here to the beginning of November in this time frame here. Bollinger Bands started to constrict, right? As they got tight here, we had that initial push higher and then we had the breakdown. So as these Bollinger Bands start to constrict and get tight again, we could either break to the downside or the top side. So that's why we want to be prepared on both sides. I'm looking more bear biased, right, this week, especially for this week. I'm looking through today's lows and I'm looking for a price target anywhere between 62 and essentially or realistically around $60.50. If I can get those two moves, I will be more than happy with the trade. I'm not looking to get in here and try to sell all the way down at 57. However, that would be great. I'm not trying to get in here and sell all the way down at 44. I have realistic expectations when I do enter into a trade. I'm a technical trader. I'm not, assuming that just because a move is going in my favor that I'm going to make $1 million off of it. I take what I can and I continue to look for setups and I continue to execute on those setups. If you guys would like more information or learn how to trade with me, make sure you guys visit evolutiontraders.com. You guys become a lifetime member. You're going to see a banner at the top of the screen there. If you guys want access to the chat room with the community and other traders who are doing this on a day in and day out basis, make sure you guys join the Discord. That link is down in the description box below. I will see you guys all tomorrow, those of you guys who decide to join. For the rest of you guys, I'll see you guys on YouTube probably in my next video, as I've got a whole slew of videos that I plan on putting out on some of the names that I want to trade this week, and I look forward to kind of diving into those charts as well. I will see you guys all next time.